We are the Evil Squid Comics Podcast 2.0.
2.0, episode 12.
Episode 12. I'm Drew.
I'm Don.
And we get together every other week and talk about comic books.
We do.
Normally Scott is here, but Scott is going to see Rent with his wife.
I didn't know that's why he wasn't
That's
here.
why he's not here. He's seen Rent.
He's going to have to cough up his man card, I think, the next time we see him.
I don't know. I'd go see Rent with my wife if she wanted to go.
Really?
Sure.
Okay.
Whatever. Keep the wives happy, man. That's what I'm all
Well,
about.
yeah. That's true.
That
is true.
We tried to get some replacement guests, but they all pretty much said no.
Well,
now, one of them had a really good reason because they were actually making a comic, which I really want to see, so I'm kind of glad that
two
they're
of
finishing
them
up the comic.
had a really good reason.
Well, I didn't hear the second reason. I just heard he was busy.
Well, when you contact somebody, like, probably 12
Yeah,
hours
we didn't give him much notice. And then one guest that we really wanted didn't respond, which is fine. I kind of thought it was a long shot anyway, because this show nobody listens to, obviously, because nobody's listening. But, you know, it's not like you'd come on the show for exposure or like it'd be to your benefit or anything.
It's not.
Totally.
I mean,
it's hard. It's a hard sell for someone to give up time to come on our show and talk to us when they could be drawing comics and making money.
The benefit would be talking to me and Drew for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, not everybody sees that as a benefit.
Well, I know, but I'm saying that's your benefit.
That is pretty much it.
Where'd that go? Oh,
where'd what go?
I was looking for something. An email.
Man, that's good. We're live on the air. It's just you and me, and you're playing on your phone looking for email.
That guy that we talked about that was making the comic.
Yes.
I had asked him. I mean, we don't have to like keep it a secret.
We can keep it a secret. Let's
Okay.
keep it down low.
So anyway, he will be at Air Capital, and I asked him if he would have the comic.
Is he gonna have
Air Capital? I'm gonna make every effort to have the new issue for the con, even if it means picking it up from the bindery house on the way to the airport. So that's dedication.
That is. It's pretty hard.
So you definitely need to check out Mr. Blank and pick up the new issue of Blank at the con. Here's a little hint.
Are we giving hints?
We ought to give him a little bit of props, don't you think?
Sure.
He did some design work on some stuff for the show.
Yeah, that guy.
Like maybe a flyer and a t-shirt.
Yeah, well, you might just say it. So anyway, more Cancor is a possibility.
More Cancor is a possibility.
So I'm hoping
to debut at AirCap.
Yes. All right. So anyway, let's talk about some comic books.
Sweet.
I got my box today.
I got my box today.
And my Image subscription comics have actually started to roll in.
That's nice. Now,
there was one hiccup, though.
Of course.
I got Birthright, number 27.
Mm-hmm.
Never got number 26. So I emailed customer service. They said they're going to send me out a replacement copy.
Nice.
Yes, so...
They might even be better than Diamond.
I know they're better than Diamond. That's not even a question.
I got my box today, too. I got a lot of comic books. A lot. Like, a lot of stuff. Some really cool stuff, though. Do you want to do, like, what's in the box?
Maybe, like, just hit the highlights. I don't want to hear everything that's in the box.
My highlight. I got the Absolute Authority hardcover, volume 1. No way.
I thought they had that.
I have number 2. I could never get number 1.
But they reprinted it?
They reprinted it.
Nice.
It's back in print, so now I have a full collection. One of the guys that I was thinking about trying to get on the show, Ben Mara. I just haven't read very much of his stuff, but I ordered one of his books. It should be coming soon, but I got a book by him. It's a single issue. It's like All-Time Comics Crime Destroyer number 2.
Cool.
I got the new Wormwood. The Wormwood Goes to Washington. Ben Temple-Smith is doing another.
New Wormwood?
Yeah, he's doing a new, like, 2 or 3 issues.
It's called Wormwood Goes to Washington?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's one of 3.
Nice.
I remember we were talking, like, a while ago, and I was talking about I ordered all the Walking Dead variant covers for the Image books, and I was sure I was going to get screwed out of all of them.
And you did?
No, I got them.
All of them?
Yeah, I got them all.
Wow.
Well, I got what they sent me. It looked like most of them. Did I say I got and you got this too, the Hellboy in Hell
Library
Edition.
That's the last one, I think.
The last one, man. The collection is complete.
Yes.
Batman White Knight. Actually, I think number 2 came out today, but since I'm like a month behind, I finally got number 1. That's that Sean Murphy.
Sean Gordon Murphy.
That looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I got that a Tomahawk.
Oh, did you order that?
Yeah, it's cool. It's like oversized.
Yeah.
It looks cool. I haven't read it yet.
They had some previews of it in Image Plus.
Did they?
I don't love the art, to be honest with you. It might have to grow on me. It's a little avant-garde.
I haven't even looked at it. I just picked it up because it looked cool.
I mean, if the story's cool, it just looks very experimental.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad, just not necessarily what I was necessarily looking for. But yeah, the art's kind of cool, actually. I think it would grow on you. It's just a little different.
It gives me like a little bit of a not as detailed Shioli, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I see that.
I don't know if that's the right way to word that, but...
Yeah. I see a little bit of Andrew McLean, maybe.
Oh, yeah. I got Cable number 150.
Wow.
They jumped from like issue 3 to like 150.
Of course.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Wonder what happened with those 147 issues in between. They just jumped in.
Hey, I got Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider number 9.
I said hit the highlights, dude.
Oh. I got Fujitsu number 2.
You order a lot of stuff.
I know.
So, like, at this point, half my box is stuff for my kids. Only about half is for me. Because I got my Image comics are coming through subscriptions, 90%. All my trades I'm getting through in-stock trades. And then... So I think really the only single issue stuff is like if it's IDW, Dark Horse, or Oni are the main ones, and then any other little things I pick up.
I got Galacticon number 2.
I got that too. I dropped it though.
I haven't read number 1.
Well, then you probably didn't drop it. You probably should have. But hey,
I haven't.
But you like that guy's
I
art.
think it dropped itself.
You really like that Mannion guy, Steve Mannion. He does.
Yeah,
art,
but that.
So that'll be. You probably would. Like
when I looked at that though, it didn't really look like
like his style.
Like his style.
It is.
Okay. I got Grass Kings. I love that book.
Oh, that does look cool looking book. I'd like to get that sometime. I was gonna order the Boom.
They had the hard
collection,
cut,
but it was only like 5 issues for like $30.
It was really pricey
for what it was. But Boom does that. Their collections are not priced similarly to the other publishers.
No, I did buy that Maestro's book.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I thought about it. I was very close, but I didn't pull the trigger.
I don't know. Savage Dragon.
I already read that. Is that the one where he moved to Canada?
It's the New Beginning one. I haven't read it yet.
Yeah.
I'm behind. I did get caught up on stuff that we could talk about. I got 28 of...
Did you read it?
Yes, I read it.
Okay, let's talk about that. Are you ready?
I read it. Well, are we going to talk... That's like the brunt. I read 22 through 28.
All right, well, I've read those already.
Well, I don't know that I could even explain what happened. It's like, dude, this book...
is crazy.
Like, even reading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 issues, like...
Yeah.
In the span of less than, like, 12 hours... I still couldn't really explain to you exactly what's going on in this book. It's, like, kind of... Because they keep jumping back in time. But, I mean, I could. So, like... What's his name that calls himself Steve? Derek. Doesn't he call him... Well, his real name is...
I don't know his real name.
Orson. But now he's on this kick where he's talking in
third person. He wears a fake mustache and calls himself Derek. Yeah.
And drinks lots of vodka. And apparently...
Bananas to...
I really need to know what that is, though.
Yeah, what was a banana?
I don't...
That's my question. You don't know?
No.
Because, see, I read them
every time he ate one, everybody would puke.
So it must have... And at the very end, she's like... Dude, it's not a banana. Cut that out. So what is he eating?
And she throws it out the window, and you see like the smear go along the window of it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it could possibly be because he keeps talking about how he's like a gay porn star and he's been in lots of movies.
Correct. Which he's not. That's just his persona.
Right.
Maybe it's feces. Could it be feces?
That's just about the only thing that could...
That just came to me. I was trying to think the whole time.
It could be the only thing that would make people, like, violent.
Yeah.
Sick.
Like he's got violence and he's pulling out... Did he have, like, a bag or something, maybe, at one point?
I think he was pulling them out of his pants or something. He's got the bag of Coke.
That's true. I don't know.
Because they pulled the whole, was that, what's the movie where not Wild at Heart, where the guy's driving down the road and he's like asking the chick to hide his coke and she splashes it all over his face.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
It's
a True Romance.
True Romance, yeah.
That was the best.
There was a True Romance moment in Stray Bullets when he goes over he gets kicked out of the hotel room that he's staying in with Beth.
Yeah.
And he goes to the
other
girl and she's just got a suitcase full of coke.
Yeah.
And she's just doing lines on the bed. And
there's a bug crawling on
it. And the bug crawls on the coke and he smacks it and like the coke goes everywhere. He's just covered in it. And then after that, she gives him like a little baggie, so he's got like a little baggie of coke that he carries around with him. Yes. But yeah, I really like the Derek, the way he talks in his own third person.
I just can't figure out what the bananas were.
I don't know what it is either. And like on
the cover, it doesn't show either.
No.
It almost looks like a sausage or something.
Well, he's eating
a sausage.
He's eating a sausage in the book. I mean, it's got the coke, the money, the mustache. There's a hot dog. There's a gun. There's
a banana.
A bag of heroin.
Yeah, all coming out of the banana
peel.
So yeah, okay.
I don't see anything else. I mean,
so there's another issue in here. The one that was all about Kretschmeyer.
Yeah.
The one where it was like all about his backstory.
Where he goes back home.
And with his parents and stuff. Yeah. So that one's confused me a lot too. So actually, on Twitter, I found David Lapham and I asked him a bunch of questions. He answered them all. So I think I figured that one all out.
What did you find confusing?
See, that's the thing. After he answered, I was like, oh, I guess that just kind of makes sense.
When he was a kid, his dad kicked him out of the house and he shot his mom through the window.
Yeah.
With a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Or a rifle.
Well, they didn't explain why his parents kicked him out in the first place. I think I figured that part out.
Okay.
I think. This is not the right issue.
Yeah.
But then there was a part. Well, I didn't understand why he wanted Beth and Spanish Scott to get together so bad.
Oh yeah,
I didn't really get that. Yeah. It's like, but I guess it. But I talked to David Lapham on Twitter, and he was basically saying, yeah, it's kind of like since his own family parents were kind of dysfunctional, he was trying to recreate that family unit or whatever through them.
Gotcha.
I guess that makes sense. So this was close to 227.
That's the bank robber. Are you carrying my bag?
Yeah, your bags suck, dude.
Dude, you need to stop.
You need to get better bags.
These cost money.
No, they don't.
You not rip my bag.
Alright, here's the issue.
God.
And so
you owe me like 20 cents now.
And then I also didn't know who the guy tied up was or why he tied that guy up. Like he had that guy tied up in his room. Remember that part?
The kid?
Yeah. Is that the guy he picked up at the bar?
Are you talking about the kid, the one that called his mom?
The guy who's tied up right here.
I can't see upside down.
He's got some guy tied up in his hotel.
Oh yeah, wasn't that guy that was like hitting on him or picking up on him or whatever?
So. That's what I was figuring. There's just a lot in this issue and it kept going back and forth. I don't even remember what questions I asked, but he answered all of them.
Was 27 the bank robber? Or the convenience store robber?
Yeah, I think so.
That's great. And she runs in and trips on her heel. And then he's like, well, it wasn't my plan to go in there and kill that guy because you fell down and scared him and he pulled his shotgun out. I'm like, wow. It's like, yeah, man, it's good. It's crazy.
Good, but it's crazy.
It's just really hard to.
It's very dense.
Very dense, and it's hard to follow. I can't even keep the timeline straight. Well, I can't.
So when they relaunched Stray Bullets, that series called Killers, it was like 8 issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they did the Sunshine and Roses, and it was kind of like it's filling in the gap between the old Stray Bullets book, like this big gap between when they leave, they steal the coke and the money, and then they end up in that small town or whatever. So it's filling in that gap. So I thought, it'll be like another 8 issues. They're like on 28, and there's no end in sight. And it's like, how long can this story go? And you're like, but it's not boring either. It's not like it doesn't feel at all like it's being like they're dragging. It's just like it just keeps going down these different rabbit holes.
I love that he continues the page number too, because we're up to like page 720 or something.
Yes. did that with the old book
issue
too.
28. We're on page 720 of the story.
Anyway.
And then that weird. There was part that kind of threw me a little bit. It's Beth's mom, right? And so, like, in one of the issues, she got whacked on the head, and she has like a brain aneurysm or something, and she's like all loopy, wacky.
Well,
she had
a stroke.
Okay,
so
and so like
her
in the next
face is
issue, she's like completely fine, like she's healed, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm really glad you got over that stroke. Now your face is back to normal."
Yeah, I think when you have a stroke, though, it does start to come back as you.
But as you're running around doing coke and running from bad guys,
coke
or whatever,
probably helps.
I don't know. It seemed very strange. That, like, one issue, her face is all jacked up, and then the next issue, she's just like completely fine. And they're like, "Yeah, you're completely healed up from that whatever you had." I'm just like, okay, but no, it's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I really enjoy it. It's like,
I really like Stray Bullets. More people should be reading it. I feel like it doesn't have a very good following.
yeah, absolutely.
But oh well. You crazy people who don't read the right comic books.
That's right.
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't either.
I mean, we do this podcast to tell you what to read. And
Exactly.
It
You need
seem
to
help.
read Stray Bullets.
Stray Bullets is the stuff.
All right, yeah, I don't know what the banana is.
All right. I was hoping
no.
Well, I was hoping there was something in the previous issue that I had just forgotten.
Yours
that maybe give you a clue.
No, yours makes the most
That's
sense.
something I could think of, but I think it's like. Do you feel like there's a little bit of David Lynch in Stray Bullets? And so maybe you're just not supposed to know, like a David Lynch movie.
Well, they know.
Maybe.
But she grabbed it away from him
And threw it out. He said, "Stop that! It's not a banana."
I mean, not to get well. I mean,
well, what point
I was
was
thinking
he was eating a bug, right?
Well, yeah, he ate the bug.
He ate the bug.
He ate the bug that was on the Coke.
Yes. So
the roach or whatever.
Yeah, the roach. So I don't know.
I mean, is it rotten food?
Maybe
it's rotten sausages or maybe
something. Yeah.
I was thinking maybe it was like a dildo or something, but I don't
know
that you would throw up.
I don't think people would throw up because of that. And the way he's chomping on it, it's like he's really like they zoom in on his face and you can see it like all over his lips. And he's like,
just smashing it. See, that's what you need to message David Lapham.
What the banana is?
What the banana is.
I was going to, but I felt so bad I mentioned another time. And then after answering my question, I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess but that makes sense.
Yeah, but this I don't get either.
I felt kind of stupid.
Like, this I don't get either. Like, I don't think we're supposed
Sometimes I feel like the answer's there. I just need to look more. And that's when I asked him the questions the last time, I kind of felt like, yeah, maybe I should have figured
Those you should have figured out.
Yeah, exactly. And so
But this one...
All right. And if it's that hard to figure out, maybe you're not supposed to know. I don't know that he'll give me a straight answer.
I mean...
Sometimes I hate asking authors to explain their books.
Well, here's the thing. I don't mind waiting, but if he's not gonna... What else has potassium? Here, have a banana. Potassium keeps me even.
And yeah, he says about
And then it's going, and the guy's puking.
Yeah, everybody's puking.
And the guy says, "You're fucking crazy."
Yeah.
Car's coming. Close that fucking thing up.
Yeah, so he's got a bag of something. So I don't know if he's keeping it in a bag or something.
Well, he buys them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can we stop for bananas? It's not a goddamn banana. And then you see like
something flying out the window. Yeah, I don't know, dude.
It's a bag.
Yeah, he's got it in the bag.
Because it's a banana, and then she reaches back, and it's a bag.
Yeah. So what does he have in that bag that he's eating? Maybe it is dead bugs. He did eat a roach.
Yeah, but that's not gonna...
If
I see somebody now...
Oh, yeah, if you see somebody eating a whole bag of bugs.
No, it's not. That's not gonna make me throw up.
Alright, I think we spent enough time on it. What else do you got? I probably need to talk about.
You should do some stuff, because that was like 90% of what I read.
Well, since Air Capital Comic Con is next week and a half.
Yep.
I read my Bound Moon Knight.
Nice.
That Jeff Lemire and Greg Smallwood did. It's the whole Moon Knight run that I had bound. I reread the whole thing. Greg Smallwood will be in Air Capital.
Ooh, that's got the Stoko stuff too.
Yeah, it does have this.
So freaking good.
This really was pretty good. Like, you read this as it came out, right? Have you finished it?
I don't know that I finished it.
It holds together really good as like a self-contained story. But yeah, I don't know. It was really good. So basically, the premise is Moon Knight. If you know Moon Knight, he's got multiple personalities. So he starts out the story that he's in a mental hospital, and they're basically, it's like an old style mental hospital, like from like the 70s or something, you know, like a Nurse Ratched, whatever kind of thing. And they're trying to tell him that he's never been Moon Knight. He's been here in this thing for like, since he was 12, and he's fabricated like that he's Moon Knight and all these other personalities or whatever, you know. Well, of course, he doesn't believe him. And then the god, Noshu or Khonshu or Khonshu or whatever it is, start talking to him and telling him that he's Moon Knight, he's got to escape. So he escapes. It turns out like the whole New York City is like covered in like sand with like Egyptian pyramids and stuff and everything.
Right.
So then in the middle arc, it kind of changes. So he gets out of there, and then in the middle arc, it's all about these three different personalities he has going on, and so it kind of diverges into is it Stephen Grant? Who's the cab driver guy? But anyway, the cab driver guy. And so it's really, and then they have this cool storyline where he's like a space guy, and he's like on the moon, there's like werewolves up there and stuff. That must be like a Werewolf by Night type of like throwback, because I think, didn't Moon Knight start out in Werewolf by Night or something? Was that
I think that was like a Spotlight, something
like
Marvel
that.
Spotlight or Werewolf by Night, yeah.
Anyway, so then it does the three personalities kind of in the middle of the book, and you get to see the three different stories. But then at the end, without spoiling anything, he somehow brings it all together. He pulls like I'm bringing all my personalities back together or whatever. And then you end up with the final arc where he basically realizes that he's got to kill Khonshu or whatever. So then he has like his final showdown with him. It's really well done. It's cool how like the three arcs kind of, you know, nice progression. And then when the story's over, you really feel like, you know, you got a complete story when you're done.
So. Nice. And
Greg Swallow drew the majority of it. In the middle, where they had the three diverging storylines, they got guest artists to come in and kind of different artists for each storyline, kind of as it intersperses. So that's kind of, if you're going to use guest artists, that's the way to do it. If it like has a kind of a way to integrate it into the story a little bit. Are you still trying to figure out the banana?
Yeah.
All right. That is a good point, though, that you found out that it was in a bag. I think I missed that, and so maybe that will figure it out.
The one thing that struck me as weird is like he goes in towards the beginning, like
he goes to that convenience store, and that lady's looking at him like he's weird.
Right, and then when she leaves, he leaves,
she calls the cops.
Right, but she's got a ton of money.
Yeah. So yeah, something is weird there.
Like, I don't understand. She's like she's pulling all this money out of the register and stacking it like on a counter, and then she calls the sheriff.
Correct.
And then, yeah, I mean, there's another part because he comes in and he sits in the car and he's like, banana, and she's like, what the fuck? We talked about this.
So is it something he bought at the convenience store? Maybe.
What would he have bought though
that would gross her out if you ate it
and cost a ton of money? But like at the very beginning too, the very first page, I haven't figured it out, but the very first page he's like laying in bed.
Yeah.
And then it says like 6:32 on the clock, and then it goes to like 2:36.
Yeah. And
he's still laying in bed, but he's dressed because here he's in his underwear. Here he's dressed, and he's got a banana in his hand.
But here he doesn't have.
But here he doesn't have anything in his hand.
Correct.
And then she says Orson, and he's got a banana. And then he looks down like freaked out, and he's got a banana in his hand.
Yeah.
And then he's at the convenience store asking. He's got a banana in his hand.
Yeah.
And he's asking for 3 bananas.
Correct.
And a pack of Slims. And she's like, is that all you want? Damn it, I don't know about that. And he's talking about...
They keep him eating.
He's talking about a plethora of erotic films.
Yeah.
And then he keeps talking to her about the... But she doesn't throw up with whatever he's eating.
Well, he's not eating it there, is he?
Oh, yeah, he is. He's got it in his hand and he's eating it.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
And then he gets in the car and he's got Well, he's got a bag with the bananas, and then the next scene he has the peeled banana in his hand, and she's like, we talked about the, I don't know. You talked to him on Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay, well maybe I'll call him. Or I'll message him on Twitter.
You don't have a Twitter account.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, do you?
I think.
Alright.
I just don't use it.
Cool.
And then I'll ask him about the freaking banana.
That's who we should have asked to come on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright.
Okay, so yeah, I love the Stoko pages.
Yeah, and they're all the Werewolf on the Moon stuff.
Yeah, and I was like looking, he's got a really sweet one for sale.
Oh, Stoko
I
does?
almost pulled the trigger on it, but it was kind of pricey.
This stuff is not cheap.
No, but it's worth it.
Well, of course. Yeah, there's some pretty amazing...
yeah, they had Francesco Francavilla.
Yeah.
And Stoko.
And Wilfred Torres?
Was it Torres?
I think so.
Okay. But yeah, the space Stoko stuff was amazing.
Yeah, here's an idea for those people watching. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Stoko's pretty amazing. That's a really cool scene where they're breaking through the dome on the moon.
Yeah, I think it was one with like a bunch of the spaceships, maybe like.
Yeah, there were a couple of those.
But anyway,
good stuff. Definitely check out Moon Knight.
Speaking of Air Capital Comic Con and guests.
Speaking of it,
do you have Sabretooth?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Swordsman.
I bought it, but I haven't gotten it. I thought I was going to get it in time.
Wow, what a loser.
I know.
Cool.
I might just
borrow mine.
Read it.
Yes.
Maybe not. I'll just tell them I've got it ordered. And
it's all good.
I'm like, here, sign this little piece of paper.
And you'll tape it in.
And then I'll tape it into my book when I get it. What else you want to talk? Oh yeah, that book.
I really like Skills and Scoundrels. It's really fun.
Good.
Are you getting it?
No, I didn't buy that one.
You didn't buy that one?
I bought like every other fantasy image book except that one.
That one.
Yeah.
Well, Scales and Scoundrels is still really good. It definitely has that kind of epic, kind of old school, kind of Legend of Zelda, fantasy type thing. It's pretty fun. It's pretty light. Yet the art's cool. It's got cool coloring, very kind of muted color palette. I don't know. It's a cool book. If you're looking for something just a little bit different, but yet still very comic booky. Almost European, because I think Galad is a European dude. But it's really cool.
It does.
People need to check it out. Because I'm worried this book is not going to last very long. People don't buy it.
How do you know that people aren't buying it?
Because I can see sales figures, dude.
Oh, you keep up on that stuff?
I do. I do keep up on that stuff.
I haven't looked at that
stuff. So go to your local comic book store, grab Scales and Scoundrels 1 and 2. They're only $3.99, so we're talking like $8, and figure out if it's really awesome, which it is.
Yeah.
I mean, Don buys everything and he doesn't buy it, so you're gonna have to pick up the slack.
True.
And we'll talk about Savage Dragon. We'll talk about that. Oh, this one I'm talking about Walking Dead, but we can. You can do something first.
I won't even know what the fuck's going on in that. So. Okay. No. This is another shout out to AirCap. I got Squatchthology. I got this book from Cameron C.W. Cook at Free State in Lawrence. It's a Sasquatch anthology book. I think he only did one story in it, but it was edited by him. It was created by him, and all stories are owned by the creators who made them. So he only wrote the first story, but it was a pretty good one. The artist is really cool too. So it's all about different Sasquatch stories.
That's the name, Squatchology.
Yeah, but the first one, the one that CW wrote, and then I'll give a shout out to the artist, Aishay Han, maybe.
Aishay Han
and Micah Myers.
That's quite the shout out.
But yeah, but it's basically he's a Sasquatch.
Is he a wrestler?
He's a wrestler. So he grows up and he wants to be a wrestler, so he's almost like a lucha libre wrestler. And then there's a story in there by Demont Jordan.
Really?
And there's,
I think I used some of that art for his badge at AirCap.
Brian Timmons has some credits in there. There's also a couple prose stories in there. I read the first prose story, but I kind of skimmed the second one. But every story in there was really pretty cool. And it scans the gamut. I mean, there's like the wrestler, there's like the serious, scary Sasquatch, and then there's just like the funny, hilarious Sasquatch stories. I mean,
I think this is the page of art I used for Demont's guest badge.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But no, it's a really cool book, and like I said, see if you, especially if I'm not necessarily a Sasquatch dude.
You're not a Sasquatch dude?
No, I'm not.
Really? That's so surprising.
But if you are, you will really like it because I enjoyed it.
Hey, Mark Argenbright is watching.
Nice.
Jelly bean to the other people. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark. You should get this Squatchology. Squatchology.
That's kind of hard to say.
It
Squatchology.
Is. From C.W. Cook. He'll have them.
Cool.
And anyway, I got...
What do you write on there? Gone Squatching?
Gone Squatching.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to take that to AirCap and get it...
Signed
by...
Oh, Demont.
By Demont
and
Timmons.
Nice. You get signed by like 3 or 4 different people.
I know.
Wow.
It'll be like a triple threat.
Cool.
So, but anyway, definitely check out CW. If you're coming to AirCap, check out CW. If you go to another convention like Planet, I think he's at those. But he's a KC guy, so he's got some really cool stuff. But here in a week and a half, he'll be in Wichita. So
sweet.
Definitely, he's got a lot of stuff for a lot of different books and a lot of different stuff for sale. So lots of fires, lots of
irons in the fires.
Irons in the fires.
Yes, he's got a lot going on.
He does.
He's big on the anthology, I know.
Yeah, and did you pick up that?
I got the glow in the dark one. I haven't read it yet.
He said it glows in the dark. I tried it.
Did it glow in the dark?
It didn't, but he said it did.
Well, if you notice, most things that glow in the dark, they have to have some sunlight first or some light to absorb, and then they'll glow in the dark. So maybe your house is so dark and dingy that there's not enough light for it to absorb to glow in the dark.
I talked to him like that.
So you actually took it in the dark and tried to see?
Wow,
that's interesting.
I talked to him.
Are you that excited about glow in the dark stuff that?
You know? Well, no, but he was really excited that it worked.
Oh, gotcha.
I didn't really have the heart to tell him that it didn't, but now I guess I am. But he doesn't listen to this.
No, he doesn't.
Anyway, I was talking to him like on Sunday.
Maybe yours was defective.
It might be. I was messaging him, and he was like, "Yeah," he's like, "and it really glows in the dark." And so I was like, my son Ben bought the anthology.
I understand.
And so he had it downstairs. Well, it's dark downstairs anyway. So I went down there and I'm like, "Hey, Ben." I'm like, "Does that thing glow in the dark?" And he's like, "I don't know." And so he found it and we turned all the lights off and it didn't look like it glowed in the dark.
You gotta go to like a bathroom or somewhere. There's no ambient light whatsoever. And you gotta wait for like your eyes to adjust and then you can see.
I'll try that tonight.
Alright. Don will be in the bathroom with his glow in the dark book.
It's all moot.
That's more information than we needed.
I haven't read it yet. Did you read it?
No, I'm buried, dude. I've got so much stuff to read.
You're buried?
Normally I'm not buried. I was all cut up, but I had a bunch of books bound. They all came back, and so I've got like 3 or 4 more of those to read. Plus I got a bunch of trades and hardcovers I've been trying to knock out. I'm not buried like you're buried, but I'm buried right now. And then I got A.R. Krebs' new book already that I gotta read at some point.
Which is a new one?
Yeah, the 3rd one came out. I think it's the 3rd. Yeah.
I don't even read books.
I know. Well, I normally don't either.
I am almost...
And I've been really busy organizing this Comic-Con.
I've been kind of busy doing that too.
Have you?
Have you? I am almost finished with it. I've been listening to the audiobook. Gotcha. I have like 4 hours left.
Wow.
It's down to
You've read it before, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But it's been...
It's
kind of weird, man, because it's like that whole book, it's like 27 years. It's been maybe like 29. I read that book when I was in college, so it was probably like 18, 19.
I read it when I was in college, too.
So, I mean...
You're pretty old.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is it's like been 27 years since I read the book. And the book is they're kids, and then 27 years later they come back. So it's kind of creeping me out.
I don't think that means anything.
It means that Pennywise might be in my dream.
I think that's exactly what it means. Yes. Pennywise is in your dream.
Go to the bathroom, and Pennywise is going to pop out and ask me if I want a balloon. And he'll
probably won't want a balloon.
He'll go,
do you
come on, come on down here, Don. We all float down here.
There you go.
He says.
I know.
I've
seen the memes.
Have you seen the movie?
I haven't seen the movie. So,
Dark Tower just came out on DVD.
I'll have to watch that. War of the Planet of the Apes did as well.
Yeah.
Nice segue, by the way.
I know.
Okay. Let's keep going. Keep it moving.
Let's keep it moving.
Let's talk about Walking Dead, book 14. This is going to be spoiler heavy, so please.
It'll be like I'm revisiting it for the first time.
You're reading the Walking Dead comic book and you haven't got to this point. Close your ears.
Close your ears. Hey, Bill Hook is watching.
Yes. Hi, Bill.
Hello, Bill.
So where the last book left off.
Come on down, Bill. We all float down here.
Okay, where the last book left off, they were fighting the Whispers. You know who the Whispers are?
Those are the ones that had the zombie faces.
Yeah, they wear like dead zombie skins, and they walk with the zombies, and they whisper because they don't want to startle the zombies, and like make them attack them because they're blending in with the zombies, right? So this is all about the Whisper War.
This is after All Out War.
All Out War. So
Negan's
the Saviors are done. Negan is in prison, but he got out somehow, and he went and infiltrated the Whispers. At the end of the last book, he beheaded the lead Whisperer, the Alpha.
Yeah.
The Alpha. Yes. And so the book starts with him coming back with her head, and he's trying as like a peace offering for Rick to, because he wants Rick to trust him and let him out. You know, so he's like trying to get within Rick's good graces. And I know that Robert Kirkman like loves the character of Negan, and so it seems like this whole book is all about trying to redeem Negan so that he's now can be like a permanent good character in the book.
He doesn't work as a good character.
He's trying to make him, and by the end of the book, he almost works as a good character. But I still feel like, no matter how, it's kind of like, you know how Game of Thrones does that too? Like, you'll like hate a character, and then they'll slowly turn it around, and then you'll like, it's like Jaime Lannister, right? Like, you hate that guy in the beginning, and then by the time you get all the way around, you're like, hey, he's kind of a good guy, you know? Right. But with Negan, I don't think it works, because he killed, spoiler alert, he killed Glenn, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
like 5 years ago.
That's not something you come back from. I don't care if, and I mean, they tried to make the case that he's been reformed, you know, he's seen the light, you know, blah, blah, blah. All right, you still killed Glenn, who everybody loves, right? It's not cool. So, anyway, so this is all about the Whisper War. The whole 12 issues is pretty much about that. But apparently there's like, it all comes in. You haven't read this?
Oh, I've read it.
Okay. It all comes down
I don't remember it.
To that huge herd is coming on the thing. They have to like break it off into different things. Do you remember who dies at the end of the book?
No.
Okay.
But tell me.
Okay, spoiler alert again.
Is it?
It's Andrea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Andrea dies.
Okay, how does she die?
She gets bit when they're trying to divert these herds. She like is 1 second too slow and she gets bit.
I'm in a weird Walking Dead limbo right now because I read the book and I watch the TV show.
Sure.
And they both veer off and I can't keep any of it straight. Like, I'm getting to the point with the show, like, I don't even know what's going on with the freaking show anymore. Which, it started back up 2 episodes in. They're doing the all-out war.
Oh, yeah.
It's all-out freaking war for like 2 episodes. But they're doing this weird...
I'm still a season behind.
They're doing this weird, like, flash forward weird thing. It's weird.
They're
and then,
probably
like,
gearing up for like what the book did where they flashed forward.
Well, no, I mean, they're like, I don't know. I mean, it's not a spoiler, but like the first episode, it's like, Rick is, it's almost annoying, but like, Rick is like laying in bed and there's like music playing and like, he's old and he has like a gray beard and like, he goes downstairs and like Michonne's there and because he's hooked up with Michonne.
Yeah, so like in the book he hooked up with Andrea. In the show, it seemed like about the same time he hooked up with Michonne.
Yeah.
So that's how the book and the show kind of divert. Like the characters get kind of all mixed around. And
yeah, and it's like in the book when they jumped forward, when they did that jump forward, like it really messed with my head. I think because like I can't keep the hilltops because there's like the hilltop, the kingdom.
And then you got the saviors.
And then you got the saviors, and it's like Maggie's at the hilltop, and is it Ezekiel? He's at the kingdom?
Yeah, he's dead.
With the tiger.
Yeah.
And then I mean it's all good. It's just I can't.
Yeah, it's starting to get to that point too, where this one it was hard to keep up with what happened in the last book. Like stuff is happening, you're like I don't remember that happening.
And then they did. I think it was like different. The end of like the second episode, they did this weird cheesy thing where it was like they would do like a close up of like every character's face, and they would like hang on it for like 3 or 4 seconds of just like. I know it doesn't work on the podcast, but if you watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. I watched it and I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like, this is weird.
It's being artsy.
Yeah, it doesn't. Walking Dead doesn't need to be artsy. Oh, and then also, I just watched... Did you ever watch Robot Chicken?
Yes.
They just released the Walking Dead Robot Chicken special. Yeah. Did you watch it?
No, I don't watch it.
I just asked you if you watched Robot Chicken.
I've watched Robot Chicken. I don't watch anymore.
Oh. Well, it's not on anymore.
Okay.
Like, this
You just said they released a new thing.
They did, like, a one standalone Walking Dead special, but they haven't had a season for, like, 3 years. And so, like, I'm just sitting there going through my DVR, and I'm like, what is this? Oh, it's a Robot Chicken Walking Dead thing. It was pretty freaking funny, man. There was one where, just real quick, there was a scene where Rick is in a house with Morgan, and Rick looks out the window, and he's like, dang, that's like a crazy-ass whatever. And Morgan looks out, and he's like, that's my wife. And he's like, oh, sorry about that. And so then he's like, I wonder if whatever the zombie, and Morgan's like, yeah, she remembers the home, so she's trying to come home to her house. And Rick's like, well, I wonder if they remember things from before, like if the zombies remember things from before. And he looks out the window, and there's like this marching, like a high school marching band walking down the street, and one of them trips and his head falls off, and a bunch of the jocks in like leather jackets come up and just start beating the crap out of the band teams, and Rick goes, hey, some things never change. And then he goes, I wonder what this guy used to be. And he turns around and he's got a locksmith jacket on, and he jiggles the door and comes in. He's like, that guy's a master locksmith. Run off. I don't know. Apparently you didn't like it. You have to see it, but it was funny. If you're a Walking Dead fan, you should definitely watch it.
How have you completely diverted my Walking Dead review with Robot Chicken?
It's Walking Dead. It was Walking Dead Robot Chicken.
So anyway, back to my Walking Dead review, which you've completely derailed. So, this book feels like, okay, so there was a Savior War, now there's a Whisperers War. I kind of feel like we're kind of spinning our wheels a little bit. Like, I love Walking Dead, it's been great, but maybe it's time to wrap it up. Just find the end game and just, maybe like issue 200, they could just kind of...
What is the end game?
I don't know. I think Kirkman said he does have an end game, but he's not sure when he's going to get there. It might be time. I mean, I love Walking Dead. I enjoy reading it, but I don't know how long you can keep it going with keeping it interesting.
I don't know, dude. It's a money machine now.
I understand it's hard to stop something that's just, like printing cash, but I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Well, I mean, what's All Out War was like, what, 100?
150.
100? Was All Out War 150?
Yeah, I think this goes
They're almost caught up to the TV show is almost caught up.
Oh, yeah, it's like nipping at the heels.
That's weird. Well, it's like, this is season 8, I think.
Maybe All Out War was in the 120s. I don't know. I could be totally wrong. Because this is issues... I don't think it says. But, anyway. And I don't want to do the math. But you know what I'm saying.
Wasn't All Out War was the one where I got mad and felt...
You're always mad.
Well, no.
This goes to 157 to 168. So I think All Out War was a little bit before this. All Out War was probably in the 120s.
All Out War is the one where I felt like he really ripped us off because Rick got shot with that arrow, poison arrow, and he should have died. And then somehow he survived, and I was like, that's a cop-out.
Yeah, you're still angry about that.
I know.
Everybody else has just moved on.
That was The Walking Dead jump to shark.
For you.
For me.
Alright.
For people who care.
Okay.
About continuity.
Do you want to do your Batman in the Shadow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is I was gonna read this because
you're gonna read it.
Well, no. I wanted to read the whole thing because it's a 6-issue limited series.
Yeah.
But then I read the first one and half of the second one, and then you're like, you need to get caught up on
Stray Bullets.
On Stray Bullets, so we can talk about it.
Well, because I don't know what the banana was.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you understand now?
I do understand.
See, isn't that it messes with your head?
But I had
what
7.
is that banana?
But I had 7 issues I had to get.
Well,
to
it's
that
not
point.
my fault you procrastinated and weren't caught up on Stray Bullets.
Okay, so like obviously this is Batman and the Shadow, like 2 of my favorite characters, so I probably would have bought this anyway. But Riley Rossmo is the artist on it,
that's
so
cool.
that's like a double bonus. Dude, he's
it
really
took 2 writers though.
Yeah.
And Orlando.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he really tamed his art. Like it's almost like he, what do you call it?
Tightened it up.
Made it more generic, like more acceptable to the general public.
Tightened it up.
I really like it, but it is not like what I expected.
Oh wow!
Like Ross, yeah, really, right? I mean, you can still
it's not
see.
quite as like sketchy and crazy
Yeah.
as it usually is. It's
They're
more
like
mainstream.
They're like, okay, dude, you can draw like Batman in the Shadow, but you gotta tighten it up.
No, I don't think they told him that. I think he just decided to. It's kind of like, have you noticed Bach Hollow did the same thing?
Yeah. No,
I
really.
Hollow used to be like crazy. You could barely follow that stuff, and then he's gotten a lot more. I don't know how to say it.
I really like
Hollow
it.
didn't really tighten up. He just got more clear. Rossmo really tightened it up.
But the thing I don't get is like, well, maybe because I don't. Maybe the ending wasn't the ending, but they just did with Dynamite. Matt Wagner just did the death of Margot Lane.
Yeah.
And she's in this book like an old lady.
Wow.
So I don't know what happened at the end of that book. That was a really good book, though, that Matt Wagner.
Take the word for it.
I got mine signed in C2E2 by Matt Wagner.
Wow.
I think he did a little... No, maybe he didn't do a little sketch. He did a little sketch in my Mage book, I think.
Okay.
But anyway, this is really good. I mean, I believe it's like set now, and so like the Shadow has come back. And so Batman has bumped into the Shadow, and so he is trying to track him down.
I would say it doesn't look a lot like Rossmo.
Hmm?
Doesn't look like a lot like Riley Rossmo.
It does if you look at certain stuff, like you can see that it's him, like in
Of course, I'm used to
faces
seeing
and
his stuff more in black and white anyway, though, because he doesn't do a lot of color, does he? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the color.
No.
Yeah, I think it is.
I don't think that's what it is. But anyway.
That Rasputin book he did, he was a little tighter than that, too.
Not that tight.
Not that tight.
He was really kind of sketchy, but that was in color. But anyway,
it was more a muted color. Though.
It's a good
limited color scheme.
I think so, yeah.
Like it was like a lot of red and grays.
It's a really good start. It's 6 issues, and then now they're starting. The Dynamite is doing the Shadow Batman.
Of course, they're.
Mm-hmm. They're riding that Shadow Batman Shadow train, dude.
Clearly.
So.
Did it Air Capital Comic Con guest Kevin Nolan do like a cover for that or something? Shadow Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
I tied it back around.
I don't think it's out yet.
We need to get Riley Rossmo to our show sometime.
Yeah, no shit. Just call him up, Drew.
I will. I don't know why you're being weird about it.
Oh, not.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to get certain people sometimes.
So this is what slowed me down.
Oh my god.
Is I had my X-Men Hidden Years bound, and I had to read that whole bad boy.
Well, yeah.
So those who don't know what the X-Men Hidden Years is, all right. So when the X-Men
Money grab?
No, I don't think so.
Retcon money grab.
Why is it all crooked in the camera?
Because it's too big.
Or is this thing crooked? Let's set it up like that. All right, let's, a little bit. Yeah, still crazy. All right, but anyway, so the original X-Men series went for like 60 some issues.
57, 60.
And the sales were so bad that they it went into reprints. Like they kept publishing it, but it was just reprinting the old stories for 30 issues.
Mm-hmm.
And then at issue 94, they rebooted it with Giant Size X-Men #1, and then 94. And then that started the golden era of the X-Men. It's pretty much been going strong till recently, I would say. So anyway, yes?
I have a question.
Okay.
That's a complete tangent, but
my
let's
God.
say that let's say that like you want to go back and you want to get a full run of X-Men.
Okay.
Okay. Like starting at number 1.
Yeah.
Like you have a bunch of money.
Gotcha.
So you have to buy like 67 to 90
or whatever it is
because you already have them, but you need them for the full run.
Depends how OCD you are.
That's
I would
true.
say. If you want a true collection, a run, you have to get them, even though they're not really new
Seems
stories.
redundant.
Was there any new material in there? Was like a backup story?
There might have been. Maybe.
I don't think there was.
I don't think there was either. I don't know.
Yeah, seems a bit of a. But
That
yeah,
would be weird though.
I'm guessing they're not super expensive though.
I bet they're not cheap. Well, I mean, I bet.
Relatively.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think like so you get up to 67, they're expensive, and then I bet they go down, and I bet they go back up at 90.
What do you think mint copy of number 67 of X-Men runs right now?
Or is that one of the reprint ones? Because I know we're just throwing that number out.
Well, okay.
I don't really know what it is.
Let's
the first
say,
reprint.
No, the first non-reprint. The last non-reprint.
Oh, I have no idea. It's probably like a mint copy? Like
Sure.
Like a 9.0?
Sure, yeah.
I don't know, probably a couple hundred.
Okay, so then what would you think the first reprint would
50.
be? Really? So you think it's like 25%?
I think it's like a 25% drop.
I don't know. Just we should pull out like an Overstreet or something.
Yeah, who has an Overstreet? Well, you probably still buy that stuff.
No, I haven't bought one in forever.
Wow. So,
Long time.
anyway, back to my... That was an interesting question.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks for bringing it up, but not really relevant to what we're talking about. So anyway, so there's this gap. So then in the 2000s, John Byrne said, what if I went back and tried to fill that gap with new stories? Like what could have possibly happened between those, whatever issues? And they let him do it. He wrote it and drew it for about 21 or 22 issues. And so this is what that is. This is that whole series. They canceled it after that. But he did it for like 22 issues.
Did he wrap it up? Did he tie it in?
He didn't really tie it in.
To giant size?
No, he did not tie it in to giant size. I think he wanted to keep going, but editorial decided it had to be canceled for whatever reason.
And then he's like, F you, I'm not even going to tie it in.
Well,
now you're going to have another
He ties it
gap.
up, but he doesn't tie it in. So you could potentially come back and keep telling stories.
Yeah, he's like, F you, now you're going to have another gap.
It's not like they ended at the Krakatoa Island all trapped or anything like that. Nothing like... He didn't like try and do that or anything. But it was an interesting way that he did this. Like, the stories, like, how today's comics are very much, kind of arcs. Like, you have an arc and then another arc. This thing is just flowing constantly. It just goes into one story to the next, to the next, to the next. It's just very interesting how it does that. But it is very old school in that there's a lot of words, which is why it took me so long to get through it. I mean, there's like pages and pages of just words and words and words, and everybody's talking all the time.
That's easy to go through.
Not
That's
too
not
bad.
that bad.
It took me a while.
That's not like a 1938 Superman issue.
It's not quite that bad, but it's still more 70s, 80s style than current comics. So it did take me a while to get through, and it's a pretty thick book. I mean, so yeah, it really slowed me down. As I was reading it, like more stuff was like coming in, piling up. I'm like, man, I need to get through this. So anyway, that's how I got behind. This is the book that did it. But it was pretty good. I really enjoyed John Byrne's art. I mean, I grew up on that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of that era. I never really get tired of it. Like I said, I felt like the storytelling and writing was a little throwbacky. Maybe he did that on purpose, maybe not. I've enjoyed more of his more recent stuff more because I think it's written a little more in a modern style. So he can write in a more modern style.
I think I would like this stuff more than his newer.
But
his newer
it's still
stuff
pretty
is
good.
like 10 years ago.
At the end of the day, though, what I've always realized is I'm not really a big fan of the original X-Men. Are you? Like when I grew up, when I started reading comics when I was growing up, X-Men was like my favorite book. But it was like Wolverine and Storm and Colossus. The original X-Men are not that interesting to me. Oh, and he does this annoying thing with the Beast. You know how Beast is supposed to be like really smart? And you know how John Byrne thinks he has a really good vocabulary? So every time
that's your words, not mine. But
so
sure,
every time
whatever.
he speaks, he has to use like these fancy words that just feels really like tacked on and forced and just really obnoxious. Like the whole 22 issues.
So he's like Reed Richards?
Kind of, but in an obnoxious way. Like you can tell, it's like when someone learns a new word that nobody knows, and they just try and work it into conversation
Use it all the time.
Yeah, he does that, but it's like constant, like new words constantly trying to work in a conversation.
I was really curious what John Byrne was up to, nowadays, until I got the previews last month and realized that he's just doing Marvel covers that are selling for like $5,000.
Oh yeah,
like that's how you pop back.
Well, he doesn't
you
make
go
5,000.
away. They probably had to pay him if they're charging $5,000. They probably had to pay him.
Yeah, maybe
$2,500 to do a cover.
Well, yeah,
I don't even know what the hell that stuff is. Like, it didn't make sense.
I understand. I think it's just super rare, is why why they're charging so much. It's like 1 in 1,000 variant or something.
It's still not worth $5,000. 1 in 1,000.
Correct. It's not worth $5,000 to me. It's not worth $5,000 to any sane person. But there's some crazy collector out there.
There are some. So. That better be a damn penciled in original sketch for $5,000.
I don't tell you.
That's like John Byrne doing a blank sketch cover at like a convention.
Okay.
That's what I'm spending $5,000 on.
Are you really? Are you?
No. But if I was gonna spend $5,000,
if I had $5,000 laying around, and I felt like spending it. That's what I would spend.
Oh.
So John Byrne doesn't normally do conventions. He was at New York Comic Con. Did you see that?
He?
There was like a Jack Kirby tribute panel, and he showed up to it. Yeah.
Well, he was probably trying to gain steam for his $5,000
cover
book.
Guess probably not.
Oh.
But maybe. Who knows? Anyway,
That's
so that's
cool.
X-Men Hidden Years. Finished it. Knocked that one out. Everything's been going really fast since then.
Was he a jerk?
I assume not. I wasn't there. I didn't meet him. But
well, you could probably YouTube that. That panel has got to be on YouTube.
Well, I think he was on his best behavior. Right.
Did he do any signings or anything? Or
I don't think so.
He
just showed up at the panel. Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of like another guy that we know.
Who?
Kevin Smith.
Oh, yeah. But he's having a signing. You don't actually get to see him or see him sign it. You just drop your stuff off. Sometime over the weekend, he'll sign it for you, and you'll get it back.
Okay, so...
You gotta be there Friday, though.
I don't
to drop it off. And you might get it back on Sunday.
Because it's gonna fill up fast, because it's only 250. I'm glad nobody listens to this podcast. So, I made... I don't want to get, like, a text message or something. Oh, no, I was talking to...
Are you on your best behavior?
Am I?
Yes, that's my question.
Yeah.
All right, good.
I was talking to Barbara about it.
Okay.
Because when I found it, I mentioned it to her. I'm like, hey, this is what's going on. And she's like, do you think he actually signs that, or does he have a stamp? I'm like, I go, for that kind of money, he better be signing it.
Well, how much it was?
$75.
Oh, $75 to have something signed? Well, it's not bad. Stan Lee charges, what, like $100?
Yeah.
So he's no Stan Lee, though.
He's 3/4 of a Stan Lee.
Apparently, in his mind, he is.
But apparently, The Undertaker charges like $90. So
wow.
Val Kilmer charges like $90, $80 or $90.
Well, he didn't even show up. He did something like he wasn't doing photo ops or something.
Really?
Well, he had like a last minute thing that he couldn't do certain things. He was signing but not doing photo ops or something weird like that. I don't know, dude.
I got a weird thing going on my face, so no photos.
Something like that, maybe. I don't know.
And then, what's her name? That lady that was there that was in Underworld.
Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was charging like $80 for like an autograph or a photo.
People will probably pay it for Kate Beckinsale.
Well, it already happened, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, because you said he didn't show up.
It was last week. It was Wizard World, Oklahoma City.
Yeah. Which I saw Chi was there.
Yeah, Chi showed up.
I don't know if he had a table or...
I think he somehow had a table. He was with somebody else or something. I don't think he got his own table.
Speaking of Riley Rossmo,
Cowboy Ninja Viking, which is going to be a movie.
Oh, it is? Oh, seemed to be a major motion picture starring...
Chris Pratt. He's going to be the main guy. It's going to be awesome.
I would be excited about this, but it's a trade paperback.
Don't you have the hardcover?
I don't think I bought it.
Oh, okay. Oh, so I was looking through, since we're looking at previews.
That's going to be a crazy movie.
I was looking through Image Plus, and they had an interview with Trad Moore and Justin Jordan and the colorist of Luther Strode.
Yeah.
Did you order the book, Luther Strode, the complete series, the hardcover?
No.
Man, I almost did, but I didn't. I really want to do it now, but I already have it, so it's hard. It's a hard sell.
If you already have the hardcover, then
I don't have the hardcover. I have the trades. So it's hard to upgrade to the hardcover.
No, it's not. You just do it.
But it's like $50.
You get a discount.
I know. So it's $30.
There you go. 30 is a lot cheaper than 50.
I could buy something new for 30 that I don't already
I don't know, man, but I'm thinking this Ice Cream Man #1, that's got to be...
It actually doesn't look that bad.
I have no idea what it is.
It's like an anthology. Oh. With the Ice Cream Man being the, like, central, like, tying all the anthology stuff together.
Oh. Okay, so, like, I'm not big on
Alright, so Donna's looking through previews now.
I know people are into anthologies, and I'm just not.
I'm not an anthology guy either.
Okay, so like Marvel's.
How much longer are we going?
I don't know.
I thought we were done.
Well, hold on. I got like two things to talk about.
Two things to talk about with Marvel.
Okay, so.
Oh, segue. I'm going to interrupt you now.
Okay.
So Marvel is like really not doing well right now, right?
They're not?
No, sales are bad. Nobody's buying their books.
Well, I wonder why it is.
Really bad. Anyway, so way back when, like 5 years ago, when we were doing this podcast before, and we had a Tumblr account, we like I listed. You did one, did too. I did like 26 or something, or 22. We said like our dream teams, like what creators they should have in their books to like reboot and like start sales up again. I think it's time to do that again because they need some help. Maybe they'll listen to us.
Really? You mean I can't believe that Marvel's not doing very good with...
Are you being sarcastic?
Oh, I'm being very sarcastic.
Okay.
Because they've got the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl.
Hey, people like the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. That book sells.
America.
People like that book too. That's not the problem, dude. Those books are
How
niche.
the hell is Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur at number 27?
People like that book. Okay, those books are niche, okay? So yeah, they're not going to be their top sellers, but they're going to please a certain amount of people who want something kind of different like that. So those books are fine. The problem that Marvel has is their core books, like Spider-Man, is not selling well. That's the problem.
Well, that book
X-Men is not selling well. It's not that the niche books aren't selling well. Those aren't supposed to be like, major sellers. You can have some niche books, but your good books, like your core books, those have to be selling well, right?
Well, yeah. Okay, so I'm really pissed at Marvel. Okay, so like this stupid Return of Jean Grey Phoenix Resurrection book.
Yeah.
I was on the fence last month to buy it.
Okay.
Because I'm like, oh my god, it's another let's bring Jean Grey back, and this time it's really Jean Grey and it's the real Phoenix and blah blah blah. Right. And I'm like, I just don't want to do this again. And then I was putting my order in, and it was like half price. It was like 50% off, and I'm like, it was like $2. And I think, was it Jim Chung? They have like a really cool artist on it, right? Like Jim Chung or something.
Was it Francis Yu?
Yeah, Francis Lino Yu. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'll buy this effing thing. So
there's a different artist on every issue.
Oh yeah, so I get the
Lino Yu does all the covers.
I get the previews, and so apparently they've decided that they're gonna do 2, 3, 4, and 5 all in the same frickin' month.
Yeah, and they're each like $4.
It's gonna ship weekly.
Yeah, it's a weekly book.
They didn't tell me that.
Well, they don't want you to
when I bought number 1
and then decide you don't want it. They
I
want you to
thought
have to pre-order all of them at once.
It was going to be a 5-month story.
No.
Now it's a 2-month story, and now I'm mad. You know what? I don't care. So now I'm going to wait a year, and when I go to a comic book convention in a year, and some sucker comic book vendor store has 50 freaking copies for sale for 50 cents a piece, that's when I'm going to buy them and read them. So I'm done. They you don't... I'm making a statement. You don't pull that shit. What's funny,
I was looking through the previews with you, and it has Phoenix Resurrection number 5, Phoenix come back. Then the next page, Jean Grey number 11. I'm like, wait.
Right.
If Phoenix is... Oh, wait, that's the Jean Grey from the past.
Yes, that's the Jean Grey from the past.
She has her own series.
Yeah.
For some reason.
They all do. Iceman.
He has his own series? So they brought all the X-Men back from the past. They gave them all their own series?
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess. I don't know. I don't buy that crap.
How many Black Panther books do we need?
There's like 7. Okay, so... There's a movie, Drew.
I like Black Panther, but I don't know that he needs 7
There's
books.
a movie coming out.
I don't know that he needs 7
So we need 7 Black Panther books.
I like this Invisible Iron Man cover.
Are we really... we're back to the Old Man Logan now. Now we're doing Old Man Hawkeye. And it's one of 12? We need 12 issues to tell the Old Man Hawkeye story?
The Old Man Hawkeye was a supporting character in Old Man Logan. So
exactly.
What is this about?
I have no idea.
Is it parallel? Is it after Old Man Logan?
The superheroes have fallen. The country has been divided into territories controlled by supervillains.
Yeah, that's Old Man Logan.
Yeah. But it's been 45 years and he's no Avenger.
Okay.
With time running short, Clint realizes there's one last thing he wants to see. Revenge for his fallen comrades in arms. Rising Star writer Ethan Sachs. Story... Oh... It's a story set 5 years before the original classic Old Man Logan.
So it's a prequel?
It's a prequel.
Ugh. Come on. I know how it is.
I mean, you know what? If I turned over to this and it said, Mark Miller, writer.
Steve McNiven, artist.
Steve McNiven, artist.
You'd be in?
I might be in.
I
would be in.
Yeah.
But when we're going back to 5 years before Old Man Logan, and we're doing a 12-ish. Because you know what?
I like Mark Pacicello. I don't know who that writer is, though.
I do too. Well, he's a rising star writer, Ethan Sachs.
I think that's what Marvel is
star writer.
Is that people like us, I mean, creators are going to drive our choices. You know, you got to get main people. I mean, if you're going to sell like a new concept or a new book or a prequel or something, you got to have somebody on there that I recognize.
I don't know who did this cover, and I don't really want to talk bad, but
it's not bad.
I don't like it.
All right, well that's fine. Art
it's
is
not
subjective.
my thing.
Art is subjective. It's fine. Don't have to.
Because you know what they're gonna do when you get the previews next month.
There'll be 5.
They're gonna solicit 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. It's gonna be a 12-issue series, but they're gonna have it out in 3 months.
Now this book, I don't even care about the thing with the Human Torch that much, but this book has Chip Zdarsky and Jim Cheung on art, and I'm like, now I don't even care that much about the characters, but I'd probably buy it just because I like Chip Zdarsky and Jim Cheung.
I bought it. I bought the first one.
And that's what's going to make you buy a book. It's not that it's Old Man Hawkeye. You got to have people on it that you're excited about.
Yeah, I bought it. Yeah,
and Marvel has plenty of people in their stable of creators that they can put on these books, or lure some people back.
I don't know that we need... Do we need Legion?
We
need Legion number 1? I mean, they've got Peter Milligan on it, writing.
Yeah.
He's a cool writer. And I guess Wilfredo Torres is kind of cool art, but... and Rogue and Gambit? Yeah, like, okay, if... I understand what you're saying, because if I flip the book and it's Rogue and Gambit and it's like Joe Majura drawing it and freaking...
You're in, right?
I'm like, I like Rogue, I like Gambit.
Put some creators on there who I'm excited about.
It's Joe Majura and it's John Byrne writing it. I'm in. Like, give me 5 copies.
Correct.
They're doing the same thing.
But like Black Bolt number 9... Saladin Ahmed, I don't know that guy. He might be really good. And Christian Ward, the name sounds vaguely familiar, but I'm not super familiar with him. I'm not going to buy Black Bolt 9.
Well, here's the exception to the rule.
Okay.
I'm not buying Champions,
Even though
it's Mark Waid and Humberto Ramos.
And they're good creators, but you're not buying them.
I bought like the first issue, and it's not my thing.
That's cool. I mean, that's fine, but at least you tried it, right?
But that's the exception right there.
I mean, the creators aren't necessarily going to keep you there, but they'll at least get you to try a book.
I almost jumped on Incredible Hulk with Greg Pak and Greg Land, but I didn't.
Yeah, that one looks almost...
But there's no way I'm buying She-Hulk 161 with Mariko Tamaki and John Noy Lindsay.
Like, I was enjoying Old Man Logan when Lemire was writing it, and then I kind of stopped reading it. But look, here they've got Ed Brisson, who I like, and Mike Deodato Jr. I mean, dude, I'm excited to read that now. I mean, yeah.
Yep. And, I mean, yeah, here's...
But then they have All New Wolverine, which I would read a Laura book, X-23, but I don't... Tom Taylor and Juan Cabal?
You wouldn't read that.
If Ed Brisson and Mike Deodato Jr. were on it, I would totally read that.
I love Bacallo, but I am not reading Spider-Man Deadpool just because Bacallo's drawing it.
I would totally read that.
Whatever.
And X-Men Grand Design #2. It's only 2 issues. I know they're 48 pages, so I guess they're like double size.
He's doing like 3.
I know. 3 what?
3 2-issue.
Oh, is he really?
It's like 6 issues, but they're gonna solicit him as like, because I think he said it was like almost 300.
Oh, that's cool. I was worried it was that short.
So it's like what, 96?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember in the interview he was saying that it was like around not quite 300 pages, but it was gonna be like they were gonna solicit it as like 3 2-issue miniseries, and it sounded like they were gonna be like 6 months apart.
Huh.
So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get them done.
And see, there's the exception to the rule. I mean, it's the Punisher #220, and it's Matthew Rosenberg and Guillermo Villanova.
You gonna buy it anyway?
Oh, I'm buying that.
Because it's Punisher. That's like your favorite character.
Yeah, and they've turned him into War Machine now.
I see.
I'm really excited about that.
Have there really only been 220 issues of Punisher? Seems like it should be higher.
Probably.
How are they counting that?
Yeah, it should be way higher.
Because wasn't the original Punisher up to like 100 and something?
Yeah, probably.
And then they had all the Garth Ennis Punishers.
He had to be like 100. Well, maybe they're right then.
I don't know.
Unless they
and
must
they're definitely
not
not counting the war journals and the war.
Well,
zones.
no, because that's not the Punisher.
I understand.
Next month, when they relaunch Punisher War Journal, Punisher War Zone, they'll start those at whatever they left off at. Like, I mean, the other thing that really kind of ticked me off is that Peter Parker, this one. Yeah. That Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man with Zdarsky and Adam Kubert.
Yeah.
Like, it's been out for like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Boom, $2.99, dude. So you know what? Next month
it'll be a $10 issue.
It's gonna be a $10 number 300. Damn it!
So, explain this to me. All right, so I'm already into the trade paperback area because I go faster than you.
Yep.
There's a Marvel Legacy hardcover.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Okay, so it collects Marvel Legacy #1, which was just a one-shot, right? Like $6. Collects Marvel Legacy primer pages. I don't know what that is.
When they did the Marvel Legacy thing, if you read in it, it said, and this includes 3 Marvel primer pages, which I don't know what they are because I'm way behind. So, okay. But yeah.
And then Foom Magazine 2017, which I'm not sure what that is either.
Yeah.
I guess it's Fin Fang Foom, some magazine they did. Somehow they got up to 264 pages, which is impressive with primer pages, 1 issue, and a magazine.
I know.
I guess it's possible, but it's $40.
Friends of Old Marvel. I think.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, that seems a little steep for...
I think they brought that
single
back.
Issue and a bunch of filler.
There's a lot of... I was surprised they filled an Omnibus of Carnage with like 1,200 pages.
That's not that surprising. He's been around a while, since the 90s.
Yeah, but he...
Ooh, the Punisher Max by Garth Ennis Omnibus. That'd be nice to have. And it's oversized.
You skipped right over the Marvel's Black Panther, The Art of the Movie hardcover slipcase.
I don't buy art of movie hardcover, sorry.
You used to be able to pick those up pretty cheap.
I'm sure you still can if you wait for them. Yeah, Marvel's losing it. I don't know what
the Marvel Legacy.
I don't know how they're getting back.
Like I bought the number 1.
This may be the end. I think in about 6 months, Rob Liefeld and Jim Lee are going to come back and reboot.
Oh, that would be. Jim Lee will never come back, dude. He's DC.
Everybody has their price, dude.
But he's probably got a contract. But I do like the idea.
Contracts can be broken.
I do like the idea of Rob Liefeld.
You would. Not sure that's what they need.
Yeah, I think they brought Wolverine back.
I assume they did, yeah.
Because I bought this book.
But there's no Wolverine book.
Yeah, I know. You'd think they would have a book.
There's X-23, there's Old Man Logan.
I bought that Marvel Legacy book.
Yeah.
The one shot. And I think I read it, but I don't remember anything out of it. So.
Are you still buying Thor?
Yep.
He has a gold hammer now?
I don't know. I'm like a year behind on that.
Nice.
I'm like a year behind on everything.
And I feel like if you reboot the Hulk every year, you're just doing the same thing over and over. I guess they were going back to Planet Hulk now? Is that the deal?
Yeah, I think they went back. Well, the movie's coming out, dude.
What movie? Oh, yeah, Planet Hulk. Yeah.
Thor.
Ragnarok, yeah. I'm with you.
Thor / Planet Hulk, the movie.
Yes, the movie. Correct.
We're going to do it for 5 minutes. And we already showed you all the cool parts in the trailer.
Yes.
It does look like a good movie, though.
All right. Are we ready to wrap up?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks
Definitely.
for watching, everybody. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it.
We do appreciate it. Tell all your friends.
See everybody at Air Capital Comic Con in a week and a half.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. AirCap. The cheapest convention.
Best value.
The best value convention.
Biggest bang for your buck.
Biggest bang for your buck convention.
So take your...
In Kansas.
It doesn't take you much to get in, so then throw your money to all these wonderful artists and vendors and cosplay and all that stuff.
Sorry, we don't have...
Give them some love.
We don't have...
You won't be able to get an $80 autograph there, though.
We don't have, like, $80 autographs there.
So if you wanted an $80 autograph, I guess you can't get it there.
You cannot get it there.
I'll sign it for $80. Dude, I'll give you my autograph for $40.
But and a photo
I'm
op.
on a world famous podcast.
Autograph and a photo op.
That's right.
For
take
$40.
As you want. I'll walk around the con with you. You can take my pictures everywhere.
Absolutely.
For $40.
For $40.
Definitely. All right. Well, thanks for listening. We'll see you in a bit. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.